Hello, ladies. We're getting ready to do exercise 2C and get into that because it's kind of complicated, so I wanted to be able to show you by video. Don't mind my background. I've been moving stuff in out of my storage over the last 2 days, so I got boxes. Next time you see me, there may be a full bookshelf behind me, so you just never know. Okay, so we're going to get ready to get started. I'm getting ready to show you the demonstration for exercise 2C. So what you're going to need is your 2C worksheet, which looks like this. The 2C worksheet says at the top, write 5 strongholds that you struggle with. Next to each stronghold or habit, write at least 2 emotions or more that you feel that drive you to doing this habit. List the emotions under A and B. So what you're going to do is under number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, write 5 things that you're struggling with. The 5 biggest things, okay? Maybe it's, sexual thoughts. Maybe it's lust. Maybe it's lying. Maybe it's cheating. Whatever it is, stealing. I don't care. Be honest with yourself because this is for you. So go ahead and write the 5 things that you struggle with. Once you're done, it should look like this. Okay, so the next step is you're going to grab your envelope and you're going to take out, there's a beautiful piece of paper with all these pretty words written all over it, and set that aside. And then you have several strips. You should have 5 strips of construction paper in here. And you're going to take these and set them aside. And you should have anywhere from 10 to 12 little red strips of paper as well in your envelope. So this is the exercise we're going to do. What you're going to do is you're going to write the words from list 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here on the strips. So maybe get a marker, and every stronghold you're going to list it separately on each strip. So as you can see with my strongholds that I listed here on the strips, these are example strongholds, that I put down. I put lying on one, envy on the other, cursing, as you can see, it's on the strip, stealing, sexual acts. These are examples. I'm not trying to call myself out or nothing, but just one. Okay, so put that to the side. Everything you wrote under A and B, you're going to write on the little red construction sheet. So as you can see, loneliness, rage, invincible, guilt, fear, etc. So however many emotions that you wrote, you're just going to fill up these little cards with them. So pause it, take time to do that, and then come back. So this sheet represents all the things that we really desire to do with our life. We want to walk in purpose and power and truth. We want to walk in love and peace and joy and freedom. And so right now, we're just going to kind of hold this up and kind of look at all the things we want to walk in. And if you have markers and you want to add your own for the list of things that you want to see possible in your life, you can go ahead and try to squeeze it in there. And here in the bottom, we have the little heart, which is our little heartwood somewhere in the middle. And these are all the things that we desire. You're going to take your glue sticks and your red construction notes, and you're going to take and put glue on the back, and so you're going to glue these onto this sheet of paper, the paper on top, and I'm going to give you an example. So I'm starting to glue these on, all the emotions on top of all the things that we want in life. So you just start doing your own and build as many of these as you have. See if you can fit them all on this piece of paper with your glue stick. That's your assignment right now, and then push play and we'll go to the next part of it. Emotions that come from strongholds will cause you to begin to build walls in your life. And we have all heard of walls. Walls are things that we construct that keep other people out and keep our own pain inside so that we feel like we won't ever get hurt again. So if you look at this while I'm building my wall, these represent bricks. These represent bricks of the walls that I'm building right now. Jealousy, fear, rage, anger, loneliness, invincibility, boredom, bitterness, pain. All these things are on this wall that I'm constructing, and they're basically covering up all the wonderful things that I look for, that I want God, to give me in my life. All the feelings that I want to feel, peace, love, joy, they're being blocked by this brick wall because these are all bricks that are constructing things that I don't want to have in my life, but they're getting in the way of the things that God has for me. So the next activity we're going to do is we're going to take one of our strips and we're going to fold it over like a circle, and we're going to put glue on both ends and kind of attach them together like so. So you got the glue kind of holding it down. And we're going to put this just somewhere in the middle of our wall. Just put it somewhere in the middle of the wall. And then what I do is just take another one of these, wrap it around. And put it somewhere in the middle of the wall as well. And so you have these things in the middle of your wall. Now, I want you to make chains with these. So you remember how you were younger and you used to make paper chains, which was a really fun activity. We're going to have a little creativity time. So we're going to go around and make a paper chain with this, with these things. You can hook them all in together. Make one long chain if you want to. You can make 2 or 3 chains. But what I'm doing is, so I'm kind of hooking all my chains together. And let's see how this goes. So what you're going to do is kind of glue everything together and kind of make chains. I know when you guys were younger, you've seen paper chains. I kind of was creative with it, so I kind of chained it all together. Everything's chained on top of these walls here. You can see, kind of cute. Got my little chains going. And after you've built your wall, I want you to name your wall. What I want you to do is kind of look at the works of the flesh, the list of all of the works of the flesh, and they've been listed. Look at all those emotions and name that wall. Mine says anger, rage, boredom, bitterness. So you can name your wall as well. Works of the flesh. You can name it deceiver. You can name it evil thoughts. Just name your wall, whatever you think all these things sum up to, that are built by loneliness and boredom and rejection. And the thing is, we fear letting all this go. We're afraid to get rid of all this, even though it's tying us down and blocking what God has for us. But this is a lot of what's holding people back. You got all this stuff going on, tied to these bricks of hurt, anger, loneliness, jealousy, whatever it is. And then we're afraid to tear these walls down because we don't want to let anyone in. But at the same time, We can't get anything out either. What was behind those walls? So look under the self-assessment part of that sheet on 2C and write, if you can remember, at least 5 things that were on the other side of that wall. Sometimes it's hard to even remember exactly because we spent so much time building other walls and building our chains and blocking ourselves off from those things that now you're like, oh, well, I remember love, I remember peace, but write down all of the things that we had behind that wall and see if you remember it. Because that's the goal. Like sometimes this stuff is blocking us from seeing all the things that God has for us. So what if you were to tear down, break these chains and tear down these walls and get to what God really has for you? Because the heartwood was somewhere in there. He's somewhere in there. The little heart that we have, it's somewhere in there. But it's blocked up by so much stuff. And what if you were to break that chain, tear down that wall, and stop doing these strongholds and habits? What could happen? I want you to write on your sheet what you can lose and what you can gain on your assessment 2C sheet at the bottom. And then after you're done, go ahead and compare those two lists and see how the good outweighs the bad or the bad outweighs the good. And why does our mind never see it that way, even if the good outweighs the bad? Why don't we see the stuff behind here? Why don't we see it? So please go ahead and do your assignment. Hope that helped you to explain how to put everything together.